Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing very well. I am very excited to film this video because we get to talk about Gabbie Hanna and her secret involvement to try take over Trisha's place on Frenemies. And I think, great job, Gaga. Like, she really quickly tried to swoop in there, and Ethan is now speaking up about it. Trisha has responded, of course. And it's interesting hearing what Trisha has to say after finding out that Gabbie, directly after Frenemies broke up, was trying to take Trisha's space. Now, there's multiple different sections to this. First of all, this is in the process of Gabbie releasing her series about drama and getting out of drama and only caring about her art and her music and rock on. And by the way, someone said, or Gabbie Hanna tweeted out and was like, or one of her fans, was like, Gabbie Hanna is the queen of rock. And someone quoted it and said, yeah, Gabbie Hanna is the queen of rock. The queen of rock bottom. And I just thought it was so funny. I read it at like 3 a.m. I was just laughing at it so hard. So anyway, Gabbie is in the process right now of like detoxifying herself from drama, from any association of any negativity online. It's just about, the arts right now. So the fact that Ethan has now revealed that in the process of Gabbie doing that and being so outlandishly out there about I'm done with drama, was actually trying to message Ethan immediately as drama happened with Trisha to say, hey, I'm willing to take Trisha's place. I'm willing to be the Trisha of Frenemies. It's very interesting, and it also goes to show that what Gabbie is doing right now is performative. It's what, you guys? Performative. It's so literally, it took all these Gabbie Hanna. Jenna, I know you watched this video. Jenna is the sweetest viewer of my channel, and she is the biggest Gabbie Hanna fan, and also a viewer of my channel, and nothing deters her from watching my videos, no matter how much I shit on Gabbie, and I appreciate that. But Jenna, all these, Gabbie Hanna fans are, so much, she's out of the drama, and she's done with it, or whatever, and, a lot of the Gabbie fans can admit that it's very hypocritical and others can't, but it's so weird that, anybody is willing to listen to Gabbie talking about how awful her experience was on YouTube whenever she's currently living that same experience. In 5 years from now, Gabbie is going to come out with another series being like, and then I turned to Frenemies, and then I turned to message Ethan. I don't know what I was thinking, now all I need to do is... and I feel so much better. It's oh my god. So there's that side of it. And also the next side of it is that Gabbie has told us so much how she is so done with Trisha Paytas. How dare anyone bring up Trisha Paytas? How dare Trisha mention her? Dude, I'm just so done with Trisha. I just don't want to know about Trisha, and I don't care about it, and Trisha, this is literally what Gabbie has been saying in anything relating to Trisha Paytas recently. And it just goes to show that if Gabbie was immediately able to find out that Trisha and Ethan had a fight and was able to message Ethan saying, I'm here, it goes to show that Gabbie is lying in that retrospect as well, and is actively following what Trisha's doing. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with her doing that, because especially whenever she did it, Frenemies was... And with drama, which is the next point, Gabbie Hanna saying that she doesn't keep up to date with drama channels nor drama. Now we have it confirmed from Ethan, which has probably pissed Gabbie off, that Gabbie does keep up to date with the drama because she was able to know about it immediately so that she could jump on the opportunity, which is now 3 strikes that she has went against anything she said recently. Lord. So the fact that, Gabbie was keeping up to date with drama and keeping up to date with Trisha and keeping up to date with Ethan and Frenemies, which was at the top of its game, you knew Gabbie was gonna do this. A lot of people are genuinely shocked. They're like, I can't believe Gabbie would do this. And I'm like, really? Gabbie Hanna? We're talking about Gabbie Hanna here. I personally, I'm gonna be honest, I don't see anything wrong with her doing this, because I think as she's an opportunist and she loves drama. Let's have that conversation. I think with all that involved, I think it's quite funny, actually, because she was probably being so serious. I'm here to do Frenemies. First of all, completely off the record, me and you, I think of Frenemies with Gabbie Hanna and Ethan would be so funny. I hate to say it. Like, y'all want me to cover this story and be like, how dare Gabbie do this? And this will be the worst thing ever. No one can replace Trisha. I don't think anyone can really replace Trisha. But I would love to see a podcast with Gabbie Hanna and Ethan. Like, wow, could you imagine? Brilliant. Like, the worst thing ever, but brilliant. So, wait, I do just want to let you know as well, I messaged Ethan and was like, you need to get Gabbie on the podcast. And he ignored it, which is one of the first ever messages that Ethan has ignored of mine. And then he did this tweet, which said about Gabbie, messaging him to be on the podcast, and he would never do that. And I was like, never mind. I was like, how did I delete a DM? Like, but no, honestly, he tweeted this before and after my opinion was, I think a Frenemies with Gabbie would be so entertaining. I think Gabbie is the worst person ever, but brilliant TV, brilliant. The same way people think about Trisha, like, it's awful, but we will be watching. So, anyway, Gabbie responded, or not Gabbie, Ethan responded to all of the madness of Trisha going on Keemstar's podcast and said this. The tweet got nearly 90,000 likes. Gabbie Hanna messaged me immediately. She's probably so angry he tweeted this. Gabbie Hanna messaged me immediately after Frenemies broke up, trying to get on the podcast to do it. I knew it would be an interesting show with lots of views to be had, but I didn't even respond to her and still haven't. Some things you just don't do. I would never do that to Trisha. Well, Ethan, Trisha would do it to you. I don't mean that in a bitchy way, but clearly Trisha would do it to you. So, first of all, before I dwell on any further opinions, let me pull up what Trisha had to say. But I want to know where you're at with this. Would you like to see a Frenemies with Gabbie Hanna? Because, Mom, would you? Sorry, my mom's sitting in the room. Would you much rather watch a Gabbie Ethan or Trisha Gabbie? Or whatever the other one is?
I wasn't listening.
You're sitting in this room, you're not even listening to me? Hold on. Would you think a Gabbie Ethan podcast would be interesting?
Yes.
In what way?
Because Ethan won't let her away with anything.
My mom's speaking in her posh voice right now. So anyway, the older generation would like to watch it as well. So anyway, let's get to what Trisha said on TikTok and then the response to comments and the tweets. But I do just want to say that my opinion on this, I think it's very clear that Gabbie would do this. Do I think that Gabbie, if given the option, would have gone on? Absolutely. Anyway, but let's hear. So this is Trisha responding to Ethan's TikTok with just the tweet.
Ethan is the best friend, so loyal. Thank you, Ethan. You only bullied and harassed my sister off the internet, sent a lot of hate towards Moses, lied on my name, brought up my past when you have your own skeletons in your closet.
Trisha looks good here.
And made me the title, Trisha Paytas versus Gabbie Hanna, just a few days later, knowing that would trigger me, having your mother compare me to Gabbie Hanna, bringing that up on the last episode of Frenemies, making sure that I heard that she compared me to Gabbie Hanna, but said I wasn't as bad. So you guys talked about Gabbie Hanna, said she was worse than me, but kind of the same, but worse than me. That's why you didn't have her on. Have her on. I was the one to always encourage. I said, you should have James Charles on. He said he would. I was like, let's have Jeff Whittick on. Nobody else wanted Jeff. Like, have those discussions. I had beef with Keem that I started. I had misspoke on FaZe. I go on there to clear my name. It's not even out. Not everything is a personal attack.
Okay. Again, just like the video that I put out, do you think that Trisha would not respond in any way, negatively or positively, if Ethan did Frenemies with Gabbie Hanna? Because Trisha, that is complete bullshit. Okay, here we go. Trisha responds yet again to the same video by Ethan. Alright, let's hear what Trisha says.
Find Gabbie interesting and you think there's a discussion to be had and you can bring something out of her, by all means do it. I went on her podcast just a few months prior to Frenemies ending.
And you haven't stopped talking about it since.
Trying to figure it out. Was it trolling? Why she hurt me? Why she lied about my sexual health? Like, I would encourage that. The same way I encouraged Jeff Whittick to come on. The same way I went on Tana's podcast knowing that she's friends with David. Like, I encourage that. Have her on. I did a video about Keem, about something that I thought was really inappropriate in his relationship, something that triggered me, that is a huge platform that I stand on. Young women being taken advantage of by older guys. It got turned around and mocked on by you, Ethan, having people call in, pretending to be Keem's girlfriend, making a joke, making a mockery of it. Ethan's channel gets taken down, imply that Keem did it. I get scared. Keem reaches out to me, non-threatening. I was like, let me talk with this person so I don't get my channel strike. Keem did tell me he did not report Ethan.
Let me talk to Keemstar so I don't get my channel striked. Keemstar, you must be so happy that that's someone who's talking to you. They're only doing it out of fear. Lord. Okay, here we go.
Because I'm my own person. When Shane and Rylan stayed friends with Jeffrey and platformed him on their podcast, was I hurt? Yeah. We're not a cult. They can be friends with whoever they want.
Trisha, baby, that was not the response that you had months ago. Like, come on now. Trisha, we know that's not the response you had, where it was like, sure, they can have whatever friends they want. No, you made videos saying Shane and Ryland are scum of the earth and stuff. Like, you lying.
The issue with Shane was when he said he didn't believe me, that he thought I was lying about Jeffrey, and then Rylan went on his podcast saying that he didn't know about my beef between me and Jeffrey when he did. Jeffrey was like kind of by
Okay, totally, I hate to say it again, but Trisha looks really good here.
in the situation.
Makeup
My
done,
issue
hair
was that I
done,
spent 10 years not trusting
very
him.
pretty.
Everyone's saying Keemstar played me, also interviewed Gabbie Hanna. I knew they were friends. I said on the podcast that I feel like this could be an ambush. I thought he was going to bring her on the podcast while I was there. I was like, in that sense, him and Ethan, like I said it before, I'll say it again, are very similar. They have to ambush people to get the reaction, the trolling. Fine, whatever. Me being one-time friends with Ethan and Keem being current friends with Gabbie has nothing to do with me and Keemstar and our personal issues. Reminding everyone once again that I met Ethan because he trashed me in a video about my looks, and I went on his podcast to confront him.
I love that Trisha can make 10 TikToks in a row about every single point that she's made in every single one. Like, each video is the exact same, just different hair and makeup. I appreciate the content, I guess. Okay, so Trisha made a video responding to someone's comment saying, you invalidated every SA victim's feelings by participating in that podcast with Keem. Love how feelings only matter when they are yours.
People shouldn't talk until they hear the podcast because he sounds absolutely stupid. I went on and shared my own R-word story that I've never shared with anyone else to drive a point across about it. I was super vulnerable. I was super embarrassed. Once it's out there, I'm going to be judged. I'm going to be judged forever for not saying something sooner, for not talking about it sooner, for doing it, for participating in it, for liking it. People are so mad about a podcast they haven't even heard. I went on there to talk about issues that are important to me, the things I care about. We talked about everyone. Yeah, did we talk about Ethan? We talked about Ethan. Did we talk about David? Yes. Did we talk about Mike? Yes. FaZe? Yes. Tifu. FaZe talked about all his scandals. Keemstar admitted to being in the wrong about mental health situations. I shared my own story of SA and R, which I have never shared with anyone else, and it was super hard because that's not a setting that I was super comfortable in necessarily. People haven't watched it. They think I'm just going to go on there and I spoke with I held my own. I'm my own person. I have my own issues I can talk about. This is insane.
Okay, and then finally, we have these comments, Trisha responding about, Gabbie going on and being the new Trisha. So, just take some water. Cheers. It's been a lot, right? Trisha responds on TikTok in the comments and says, you should have her on. If you think there's something you can benefit from it, truly, full stop, full stop. I've always encouraged you to talk to people. Now that I'm not there, it's a good time. Can I please remember these comments? Remember these videos from Trisha? Give it 3 weeks. I bet you Ethan is going to come back to YouTube and he is going to have these people on. And then we'll see if it's talk to people. If you think there's a conversation to be had. Great. Okay. Then Trisha said, I tried talking to her by going on her podcast a few months ago. Maybe you have a different approach for people to get a sense of who they really are. Woo. And then the final comment that Trisha said says the following. I was the one who encouraged having Jeff on Frenemies when no one else wanted to. And we changed his mindset, you never know. That's an interesting point and a pretty bad argument because Jeff then turned on Trisha and Ethan the second that Frenemies broke up. So I don't think you necessarily changed his opinion. I think you scared him into saying one thing while he was live on air, because we watched that live stream with Jeff and it was absolutely disastrous for him. And the second that y'all broke up, he was making fun of how toxic y'all were, that you never had any impact, that basically everything you did was performative, that it was just going to fall through. So I don't really think he changed his opinion the same way I don't think you're going to change Keemstar or Ethan changes Gabbie. But I mean, I guess you can throw around this fucking invisible ball of like changing people's opinions or maybe not or whatever. I don't know. So I want to know what your opinion is. We can talk about it below. I just think it's so funny that Gabbie has not even responded to this. Gabbie went on Keemstar's podcast, by the way, the exact same time Trisha did, I think the day after, because Keemstar then... Let me actually pull this up as a final thing to show you, because I posted it. Let me show you the caption that I posted. So Keemstar did that photo, you know, that one with Trisha, and then did the one with Gabbie right after, and it had, like, no impact because, like, in the nicest way possible, like, Gabbie Hanna really isn't that interesting to people anymore. He tweeted this picture of both of them to say that there was a podcast coming, so I tweeted it and said, what does this picture smell like? And I mean, some great responses. So, yeah, he's obviously done the podcast with Gabbie. It is what it is. I'm sure that Gabbie and Keemstar doing a podcast is fine. Gabbie and Ethan doing a podcast is not going to be fine. But Trisha says it's not, so we'll wait and see because I'm sure it'll happen. We'll talk about it below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay safe, stay well, drink some water, and cheers. Bye.